Hello my lovely students, I welcome you to JCL Tutorials. This is a platform where we make social studies simple for you. It's been a great time and it's a pleasure coming your way with another interesting lesson. We started something last time and I'm sure you watched that in my last video concerning a topic that I took from the Form 1 syllabus, which is adolescent reproductive health, and we took the part 2 of that topic, beginning with irresponsible adolescent behaviors. So we'll be going into another areas of that particular part or topic or subtopic, and then I promise you that you enjoy that lesson. We know that you out there, most of you that are at this level, fall within the adolescent period, the transitional period between childhood and adulthood. And when it comes to this particular period, attention has to be paid to the kind of things that you do. Okay, so whether you are doing the right thing or the bad thing, at times because you fail to recognize the consequences, you fall into a lot of problems, okay, or encounter a lot of problems. So these problems are what we want to try and avoid or control. That is why this topic is very necessary for you. When you learn it, you are not just going to get A in your social studies exam, but you can also live its practical aspect of it when you complete school, or one day you also become a parent. Okay, so sex education is the best and it is being organized in schools and other places. Now we are going into some of the habits that can actually create problems for you as an adolescent when care is not taken. So you remember we defined irresponsible adolescent behaviors, the behaviors or the actions of the adolescent that do not conform to the norms and the values of the society. The society do not support or they frown on such behaviors. Okay, so we have actually given so many examples: drug use or drug abuse. Okay, we've talked about occultism, cyber fraud, promiscuity, prostitution, all these actions. I'm sure you've gotten more of them. Bullying, you see. Okay, so you have some pictures and you see alcoholism, children engaging in drinking of alcoholic beverages. So we don't know where they learn such things from. So that takes us to the causes. You realize that sometimes they see the adults and then they copy it from them. And so we say some of the adults or the parents are irresponsible. Okay, so you learn such things from them, but you have to be careful. You have to be careful. If you have started, put a stop to it, because it's not going to help you. Because we are going to look at the effect and you know why you shouldn't engage in behaviors or actions like this. So smoking, yes, peer pressure and all those things can be influences. Let's look at the media. You watch explicit material, photos, videos, pornographic materials. They are actually affecting your brain, your intelligence, how you should think. Okay, so you engage in activities such as masturbation, okay, and then you also go into sexual activities such as sexual intercourse. Okay, all these are not for you at this level, because this particular time or period of your life is when you are to take care of your reproductive health and then grow to become a responsible adult. So we've seen the meaning and we've seen some of the causes of such behaviors. Now we'll quickly go into the effects of such behaviors and then we see what we can do to control them, because they always come your way. Their peers will always be there, the good ones. At times you find it difficult to detect the good ones or the bad ones, but let's see, these behaviors can lead to so many consequences or problems. So we have loss of self-esteem and confidence. Loss of self-esteem and confidence. You know, you are growing up, there's a lot of confidence that you have, how you even perform or relate to your friends in class, your performance. The moment you start engaging in such behaviors, you realize that your confidence level, because what you are doing, some of your friends are not doing that. Okay, so even when you are in their midst and they are talking, you can't also talk, and they are advising others, you can't do same, because you know you're already guilty, and it brings your confidence level down. You can't actually esteem yourself. You can't actually see yourself as somebody responsible, somebody good in the society. So this can affect your emotions and also the vital things that make up you, that make you as a whole human being and keep you going in life to become successful. All right, so that is one of the effects. Teenage pregnancy, and you know the main cause of this. If the adolescent engages in premarital sex or prostitution, it could end up in this pregnancy. So a pregnancy that occurs within your teenage, 13 and 19. Around that time, you are still young. You are not supposed to be carrying a baby, okay? But you have found yourself in that particular situation just because you fail to be responsible and you were trapped into that problem. So teenage pregnancy is also another effect. Premature parenthood. Normally, because we say teenage pregnant, you know the girls are the ones who get pregnant. People also don't, the boys forget that they themselves can become premature fathers or parents. So it is not time for you to, or you don't have the capacity to take care of a child. But that has happened. You engage in such an act, and now you have become a premature parent, and it will not be easy for you at all. So that is one of the effects. Also one of the effects. Now, point 4, you may become a school dropout. Of course, especially the girls, because you can't be taking the pregnancy to school. And what is going to happen is that even if it's about the opposite sex, that is the boys, you know, when you start smoking and other things, you can attract name calling, or people will tag you with certain names, and then stigmatization. Your friends who have been in the good situation and they have behaved well will now tag you, and because of that shame, you don't want to go to school, you don't want to sit in their midst and then learn. So you choose to drop out, and then it may end you up on the streets. Okay, so that is also one of the effects of irresponsible adolescent behaviors. How about premature or untimely death? Some of these adolescents actually try to outsmart their parents or even people living around them when they get pregnant, the girls. So they try to attempt an abortion, and this could possibly lead to death, because you may find ways that are not prescribed actually to take off that baby, and this can lead you to certain health problems or issues, or something that can cause your premature death. Okay, so that is also one. Then how about the boys? So this is not only for the girls, the boys too, the adolescent boys. If you engage in that, if it happens that you go mad, you know what can happen to you. Yes, you can suffer severe sickness and then die. Okay, die prematurely. So that takes us to also health disorders or problems. So if you don't lose your life, you may end up encountering a lot of health issues or problems, health disorder. So if it is smoking that you've engaged in, alcoholism, you know it can affect your lungs, your respiratory system, your heart, your internal organs, because those chemicals, what about smoking, drug abuse, the marijuana, the Indian hemp, the cocaine, and other things that people get at that early stage and start using them, is going to affect your system, and you can become so deformed or deteriorated. So it has to be taken into consideration that this could also be one of the effects. So let us live responsibly as adolescent boys and girls, the health disorders or problems. So talk about those ones. Then I made this one a bit unique from this one, because this one, general health problems, we know, but most at times we treat these ones as special when they engage in prostitution and premarital sex, and then other sexually related activities, the kissing and other stuff. You may end up contracting the sexually transmitted infections, which we also call the STIs, or commonly known as the STDs. So when you are explaining this point, don't forget to name such diseases. Okay, the hepatitis B is there, the deadly HIV or AIDS is there, the syphilis is there, the gonorrhea is there, chlamydia, genital warts. All these are sexually transmitted infections, okay, that can result from being irresponsible. Okay, so these are some of the effects. So as I've explained, you just pick the ideas, and I'm sure you are making your notes, and then you explain 5 out of this. So that is the assignment I'm going to give to you. Explain 5 out of this, and then you make a very nice note for yourself, or summary note for yourself, just as I've done here in the video. Okay, there is a way out, because the influence is everywhere. The influence is everywhere, and we have to be careful. But how do we live that life so we can control, reduce, or check all these irresponsible adolescent behaviors? So I'll begin with the agencies that we have in our society. At times we need to have them. We have the social welfare agencies, Ministry of Children, what, gender, and all those things. They are ministries. They take care of, they check people, children who are abused, women, and all those things. They can set up other smaller agencies that can go out with a PA system periodically or occasionally, and then educate, be announcing and be telling young people out there about the consequences, okay, or the effects of irresponsible adolescent behaviors. So if they are talking about smoking, if they see how increasingly the drug use has reached or gotten to, they can educate the youth on that, and it will help them very well. So when you check this one, don't confuse it with the sex education. That is the point 3. This mostly can be done at conferences. They can invite the youths there and then speak to them. Okay, you can have these pastors or counselors, and they can do that. Parents can also do it at home. So with the first point, I'm actually focusing more on the agencies responsible for that, okay, or for child care. Then here I'm focusing more on parents. They should do theirs at home. When the children come to school, then we also do ours. We'll tell them. So, and deal with that comprehensive issue concerning the whole maintenance of their reproductive health, how they should live their life, and tell them the consequences. So that is the sex education. So I've actually explained this one, and the point 3. Responsible parenting can also help. Responsible parenting. Some of our parents themselves are pushing us to do this. Okay, so our parents must show care, enough care, and the care is not to pamper us. So when you are doing or behaving in such negative manner, the parent is supposed to let you know that what you are doing is wrong. Okay, they have to scold at you. If there is a punishment they will give to you, the punishment should be in the form of a correction, something that will change you from the bad to good. And then they themselves must live for you to emulate. So you learn from their steps and also become successful like them. Okay, so that is one of the responsible parenting. Talking about parents who buy electronic devices for their parents, the mobile phones for their children, the mobile phones and the computers and other stuff. Yes, they need them, but they have to be checking up on what they're actually using those devices for. Okay, so that will fall under the responsible parenting. Since I've already explained the sex education, let me go straight into point 4. So point number 4, we intensify the teaching of RME. This in schools, the religious and moral education. It is being known that those people who actually uphold their moral values really abstain or find a way of checking their own irresponsible behaviors. Okay, so the education must go on. The moral education, you know, the moral, the societal values, to teach them. Then people who are very religious, going by reading their scriptures and what the good teachings they find in their books, the holy books. Okay, so this can be done in the school and the churches. Alright, so that is RME. Adolescents should be assertive. This one is you, the individual, the adolescent boy and the girl. So what can you do? You should stand on your feet, not just rising up and then standing on your feet. No, you should have a conscience and be ready to say no and yes. Okay, take concrete decision. Your friends, your peers are putting pressure on you to do what you feel it is not right. You say no and try to stay away from such friends. Okay, so you are being assertive. You are being assertive. Your mom has told you not to do it, so when you go out there and you meet someone trying to influence you negatively, you try to be firm in terms of your decision. Okay, all right. Point number 6: adolescents should be selective. Yes, they should be selective. Okay, so in choosing the right friends, adolescents should be selective in choosing the right friends. Okay, so you choose your friends in the right way, and that is what you have to do. You know your friends that are good, you know those that are bad, and they are going to influence you in so many ways. When you are selecting your friends, go for friends that will help you achieve what you want to achieve. You want to achieve, get your 9-1s and get to a B school, a good school for that matter, and become somebody responsible in future. Yes, it's a birds of a feather flock together. Go with those that you know you have the same vision or plans or feathers with them. Good. Regulation or censorship of the media. So this can be done by the government. So the national communication and whatever, all those agencies who check the content, the things they show on your screens and my screen, what we watch on television, the media, the newspapers, and so that explicit material, pornographic materials, the things that you watch in your hidden places, even you will not get access to them. There should be a control from the top. So that is how you have to explain some of these points. So these are measures that, some of the measures that we can actually consider in order to prevent or control irresponsible adolescent behaviors. Okay, so these are some of the things. You can add more and then get some of your points here. At least you should be able to explain 5 out of this. I've said a lot concerning the points. Put the ideas together in your own words and then write the explanations down. At least 5. Then you are good to go. I believe you enjoyed this lesson. I'll be coming your way again. The next time we'll be looking at chastity. Okay, so but for today, this is what time will allow us. Keep revising, keep posting your questions in the comment box, and make sure you keep safe out there and be good adolescent boys and girls. Thank you for watching JCL Tutorials, where social studies is made simple. I'll meet you another time. Nice being with you here. Bye bye.